I'm more oriented towards freedom, but I've seen you talk about how even though you want to allow space for people who are not the norm, for the vast majority of people, certain things are probably not good for them. So could you just talk about that?
Yeah. I think there's a bit of a difference between being legal or protected under the law, or like just in the case of prostitution or things like that. I don't think that the people who practice it should be thrown to the lions and arrested or destroyed or things like that. But the idea that because some people are engaging it and we shouldn't attack them for it, that a lot of these things should be destigmatized, because you hear this all the time now. We need to normalize, destigmatize. It's the whole thing where a lot of things like this that, people say, oh, it's not hurting anyone. This is, consenting adults. The only moral limit that we still have is this idea of consent. The thing is that things don't happen in a vacuum. Like, for example, if I were to choose to engage and have build an OnlyFans profile, I am a part of my community. I'm a part of, if I were to post it on Twitter, there's quite a few thousand people following me. you know People are mimetic creatures. We do what other people do. We engage in things that are in front of us, that are glorified, that people that we respect or look up to are doing. And this idea that it's consenting adults, they know what they're doing, is a bit hard to digest, especially given that our society insists to say that the kids at 18 years old, they're adults, they know what they're doing. But with the death of religion, with the death of like more close family structures that kind of teach people a little bit of a moral background, give them a little bit of guidance, to expect that people will make good decisions just when they hit 18. And when things like OnlyFans are paraded around and told, I mean, people tell them, oh, there are people making 100,000 a month, I don't know, bending over naked or whatever people do on the platform. It's quite enticing. And if you don't have any sort of perspective to think like, how might this impact me? How might this impact my mental health? How might this impact, the society that I live in? What are the scale implications of this? What does this massive amount of pornography do to the consumer? Like you said, young men are almost completely driven mad by the amount of pornography and the availability of it online. What do these platforms do with it? Like, did you know that OnlyFans has like a slot machine logic built into it? It's addictive because it's made on like a slot, like it has intermittent rewards baked into the interface. Like, this is a machine for addiction. And people who make it are very smart because this is how they keep you on the site. This is how they make you pay. And I feel like both the producer and the consumer are losing here, and OnlyFans is making so much money. And us, because we're like, oh, live and let live. It's not hurting anyone. We shouldn't get involved in it because it's all consenting adults. But I think consent is not the final frontier of morality, and I think we're starting to learn this the hard way.